Hello everyone, Nick and Qasim, again!
Yep, again.
And today we are having a look at the Stanley Parable. So real quick, Qasim, do you have any experience with this game so far?
Yeah, I've watched a couple people play it. I've sat there and watched them play it in person, but I haven't seen like large chunks of it in any given time. Like I stopped watching Let's Plays because I was like, no, I want to experience it myself.
Well, now you get to. So, without further ado, let's just begin the game. Now this is what I like. The end is never, the end is never, the end is loading.
The end is never the end.
If you think about that, the end is never, what do you think that means though?
It never ends.
Exactly. There is no real ending.
What?
And it's like, it's one of those things that's just sort of silly, but you kind of get the gist that it's like, it's got this deeper meaning to it, you know? It's called the Stanley Parable. It really doesn't have that deep of a central meaning, but it has some tropes in it that make you think.
It inspires you.
It's also got decently long loading times, so there's that.
Oh my god, yeah, this is kind of impressive. I don't think I've sat through a loading screen this long since I played something on my PS2.
Dude, Skyrim.
Oh yeah, it's Skyrim installing. The first time.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was
Feels like Pixar so far, right?
Yeah, this is really weird.
Employee number 427's job was simple.
He sat at his desk in his room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. It's doing that because I have
orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push,
how long to push them, and in what order.
This is what employee 427 did every day
of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job.
And Stanley
was happy. But was he?
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget.
Oh, Stanley.
He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
There was nothing
there.
there.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi.
Hi.
Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This complete isolation.
Oh,
Something was very clearly wrong.
Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time.
But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up
from his desk and stepped out of his office. So, immediately, there is one ending that you can do right now from within the office.
What?
Yeah.
Go back to the keyboard.
No, you can't do anything with that. However, you can close the door while you're in it. Now just take a little step inwards.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No.
Did I mention you can also
couldn't
crouch?
Go anywhere except badly. The thing to do
Just
now,
hide under your
Stanley
desk.
thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me.
You can't actually go under there, turn around and feel like
here
you're
I can
hiding.
be happy forever.
No, I can't leave. I'm a crab. I'm a hermit.
Stanley
No more.
waited.
I'm the
Hours
desk man.
passed, then days.
I'm the desk man.
And years gone by.
I'm so
He no
old.
longer had the ability to
Been here
tell.
for centuries.
But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon.
Very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do.
I need
Now
orders.
it's just a
It's
little
just a
closer.
little bit closer.
Here it
Now
comes.
it's even closer. Here it comes.
Also, there's no jumping in this game. The load times get better as we go along, by the way. Because it's once it loads it once, it doesn't have to load it as much.
It doesn't have to load everything again. Okay.
Yeah. It's still kind of long, but, you know.
That's intriguing.
Okay, so that's the first ending. Now there's another one you can do. You can't open any of these. You can't open any doors, but you can
All of
close
his
some of them.
co-workers were gone.
Now,
What
head
could it
over to
mean?
desk 434.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Now you
No matter how
can't
hard
jump,
Stanley
but
looked,
you can
he
climb
couldn't
onto
find a
the chair
trace of his
if you just give it enough effort, and then onto the desk, and then crouch into the window. Yeah, there you go. Now onto his desk. Almost there. To the window. Sort of crouch. Yeah. Now try and move forward a little bit. There you go. Into the window. Crouch, 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 crouch. Through the window. And out.
Oh, whoa.
Now look up.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes.
Why,
So,
thank you,
now
narrator.
that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay.
Okay,
I'm
over
over
it
it
now.
now.
What do you
What do you
think?
think?
Are you sick of this gag yet?
Press no.
I love this.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue.
But now here comes the real
the
question.
real question. What
do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted to stop?
Do
Do you think it would have been particularly different? Now press yes.
Would I
No.
have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer?
Perhaps you never would
would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Would it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if
This
the
is in
other option
essence the
even
entire
longer?
game.
How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones.
I
Though
love
if
this
the
guy.
other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Now try clicking yes. Oh, okay. I was told that works. It doesn't, but it's not worth coming back to, so just restart the game.
Oh, wow.
Begin the game again. That's one of the gag endings.
I guess there are like 50,000 of those.
Dude, this entire game is about endings. There's nothing else to it. There's not that many gag endings, but if you
That
restart...
raises so many good points about video games, though.
Yeah. If you restart enough times, there's a random chance of you getting the whiteboard ending. I haven't seen it yet. And I don't know how to get it. And I don't know what happens. But I will get it before this is over with.
That sounds beautiful.
Alright, now head out. Alright, there's
Already
nothing more
this
to
was
do.
uncomfortable,
So
and
just
Stanley
head out.
decided that as soon as he found a new space he felt safe in, that he would never leave it again in his life.
Alright, now this is Rich. Head over to that hallway up there. That one right there. Yeah, okay, now close the door behind you. Now close the door in front of you.
This is the safe space.
Oh, and I guess this is where Stanley felt he needed to be right now, in this little hallway. Here, with no distractions, to study room 417.
What are you doing?
to
That's not
actually enter it.
417. No, that's a leaf
That would be
thing.
far too forward. Stanley wanted to know it from the outside, to see it not just with his eyes,
Look at that.
but
It's
with
beautiful,
his
isn't
heart.
it?
He would know room 417 as
That
no man or
ladder.
woman had ever known an office before.
That
ladder
little
over there.
picture of the horizon
Oh,
or something.
that little picture of a horizon or something. It's all just a never-ending parade of joy for Stanley.
Doesn't it just make you so
Boxes
happy?
on boxes on boxes, man.
Small desk area. Well,
That just
large
gets
desk,
me
actually.
off.
Heck, man, that desk would be nice to have. Now just walk out. If you interrupt him while he's talking and walk out of the room...
No.
Yep, he says that.
Not.
Okay, now you have a choice.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do you obey the narrator?
Nope,
Of course
nope,
you
This was
don't.
not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
It's a beautiful lounge, I can assure you.
Yes,
Truly a
room
worm
worth
a
admiring.
worm worth
It had really
admiring.
been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room.
Stay here for a second. Stay.
Stanley
Stay.
simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It's
One
beautiful.
second, I'm just going to adjust the volume because I'm sure that this is really loud. I forgot I turned down the system audio, so I'm just gonna, whoops,
Oh.
master volume right about there. That's why we have the captions on. Alright, back. Resume the game. Now we're just going to sit here and wait.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Isn't it such a nice room? He says different things every now and then. Don't head out yet.
What if I
Not yet, not yet, not yet.
Point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected
gonna see if I
poorly
could close
on his
the door.
overall personality.
Don't close the door. Also speak up.
Possible that this is why everyone left.
Nope, not yet.
Man.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
I just wanted a cup of coffee, man. Gee.
Alright, that's all he has to say.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
You don't like the narrator, do you, Stanley?
Stanley was so
It's
bad
more
at
like
following
it's
the
more like
directions,
a
it's incredible
compulsion.
he wasn't fired
Yep,
years
that's the
ago.
first thing I did too.
It's a very nice drawing room. Does he work in some kind of architectural firm?
I don't know.
Oh well, next room it is.
Have a hop on that cargo lift there. It's the only option open to you. Now, you have 3 options once on the cargo lift.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here.
Choose wisely.
I'm not
I won't
sure
tell you what they are.
really I know.
I feel like one is to
I
just
realize
walk
that
off.
investing your
It is.
trust in someone else can be difficult.
I wonder
But
how
the
that
fact
works
is
out.
that the story
It's an
is
ending.
about nothing but
I would presume so,
time.
but I'd like to
Someone you've
see
been
my other
neglecting,
option.
Stan.
Okay, there's
You can jump onto that catwalk.
Forgotten about.
catwalk. Where's the catwalk?
Below you.
Oh, I missed it.
You
Oh.
haven't. You can still make it. Jump.
I'm not
Oh.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control,
Well, that's what happens when you jump off.
who gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are.
Everyone thinks
Man,
he's so
Stanley
powerful.
is the man.
Stanley is the man. He is not just a man. He is the man.
Stanley
Okay?
don't follow nobody's orders.
Stanley don't take no crap from nobody.
Hear that mystical talking voice? I'm a boss.
Alright, now just
All of his co-workers.
Leroy Jenkins it all the way up to where it was.
Leroy Jenkins.
Is this Stanley's office?
Wait a minute, what? Go back. I think we might have gotten the whiteboard ending. Go back. Appears I was wrong. I just didn't recognize what he said there. Have a look around a little bit. Just see if anything's different. No? Alright, well. Hey, try clicking on door 430 5 times.
It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
In rapid succession. No, okay, he won't do it again. Okay, well there's an achievement for doing it. I've already gotten it, but the dialogue is really funny. Alright, well I'll have a walk out, see what's there.
Man, this office is so wonderfully crafted.
It is a nice office, isn't it?
It really is. Like, and that meeting room actually did look really nice.
When
Yeah.
Stanley came to a set
No,
of
that
2
wasn't the meeting
open
room, that was the
doors,
employee,
he entered the door on his left.
Lounge. Alright. Oh. Yes, this is the meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of
Isn't that
disbelief,
peculiar, Stanley?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office hoping he might find an answer.
There's a lot of interesting stuff on these whiteboards, but we don't have time to read all of it.
Huh. Random money.
Wait, go back for a second. Targets. Push for finding R plus D of new coffee machine. Standard graphs 40 wide. Not cost efficient. Get Chris out of the broom closet.
Synergize papers!
Synergize the papers!
Hire someone to synergize the papers. Papers are too synergized.
Fire paper guy. Hire somebody to fire the paper synergizing guy. Who moved my desk? Please keep the targets on the topic of blurred.
The future was yesterday, tomorrow is now.
What?
Man, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. I'm gonna live my life by that.
Alright. Broom closet. Open it.
Whoa.
Hop in.
Hey, Chris. Chris.
Chris!
Stepped into the broom closet, but there was
Shut the door behind you.
so he turned around and got back on track.
Stay here.